So, why am I choosing to share about this gift that I have, this connection, and Oliver now? So, I will share with you that this has been a long process. This has been sort of the debate of my life. Like, I've shared Oliver and channeled them with people, word of mouth. People would contact me, or they would, they heard that I was able to channel, and I would, make connections like that. Um, or I would like start to share Oliver, and then I would like, hesitate back, and I just really didn't understand like why I was doing that. I sort of had like, oh, like what are people, this, thing where I'm like, what are people gonna think, because this is, this is like out there, and I had to sort of understand my belief system, right? We all have belief systems, which are, what we are raised to believe. And in my life, I was baptized. And so initially we were Catholic, and then that eventually turned into Christianity. And so as I made this connection with my spirit guides, Oliver, I sort of wrestled with that belief system, right? Even though like they were telling me all of this information, you create your reality, everything is vibration, frequency, like all of these different things, all of these like new terms and concepts that I really just was like, really at the cusp of just getting to understand them. And this was way back in 2015. So I hadn't really heard these terms before, these words, I never heard what vibration is or anything like that. I am Chicana, which is a Native American and a Spaniard. And so I also had those Native American beliefs. And I feel like that has been the fuel that has sort of called me and pulled me and attracted me to make this connection with my spirit guides. Because, without going too far in, like I always knew religion was not the whole truth. I'll just say that. But I would, again, but my belief system, my core beliefs were still those things, right? Still believing in sort of all of those biblical lessons that had been taught. And it took a while, a long while. It's 2025, like, and I maybe it's, there's been other things that have happened during this process, and not necessarily because of, my connection with Oliver, just in my life. And that's sort of like prolonged this process. And I don't really want to go into all of that, but I really want to stay focused on my belief system and things that I had to sort of, play sort of tug of war with, because I'm like, okay, Oliver's telling me this, like I know this, I'm doing these things in my day-to-day life, but like I'm not really like, I'm starting to share information about Oliver like online, but then I would like sort of like dial back, and I just wasn't like fully ready or prepared, or for whatever reason, right? And so I really had to like dive into my mind and understand those core beliefs and then adjust them. And so here we are today, and I feel I'm not the same person I was when I was a teenager, when I was 20, when I was 30. Like I'm just not the same person, not even, who I was, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 1 year ago. I'm not the same person. I am intentionally living in the present moment, very purposefully. And that has taken me a lot of time to get there, to be here, to be present, fully present, and the best continuous version, to continuously be the best version of myself and who I am today. And so it's very interesting, and I encourage you to sort of take a little journey on how your belief systems are and how they work. And I'll talk a lot about that, and Oliver will too, on how your belief systems work and the belief systems that we're taught, whether that's through, family, um, other institutions, things like that. And let me just say here that there is a caveat here. Like, I'm not saying that these belief systems are wrong or right. From what I've learned from my life experience, is that there is sort of like this, there's levels to this. Um, there's sort of like this vibrational spectrum, right? From like low vibrational, mid vibrational to high vibrational, right? And so I would say like lower vibrational, obviously, most people understand what those are, right? That's just very like negative type things, situations, circumstances, etc., etc. I would say mid vibration are what we experience at the level of like religions and this like general spirituality, just different ideologies that are starting to sort of raise the vibration to understanding like we are part of something greater, right? And then you start to get into like high vibrational, which is like consciousness, right? Which is what we all are, and energy and frequency, and really understanding where you are, where you align, how that how that fits into your purpose, into your life, into what you came here to do. And so that's really like high vibrational. This is when you're so connected, like even through meditation, like you're connecting to this color here, this fuchsia light, pinkish color that is like pure, like masterfully beautiful love. And I've experienced that. I've seen that not just in meditation, but in my daily life, in experiences that I've had. And it's so beautiful. It's so powerful. It's the connection that we all most are striving to feel. And so it's really important to sort of understand your belief systems because they're in place to get you to certain levels, right? Certain levels. And then once those beliefs are no longer necessary, we sort of just let them go. And we either do that intentionally or unintentionally. It just depends on your specific situation, scenario, and where you are on your own spiritual journey. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. And yeah, I'll talk about this a little bit more in other videos, but I kind of just wanted to give you this initial sort of understanding. All right.